Hi everyone, welcome back. We are still on our tutorial. This is luvcodings.com. We're still on our tutorial on creating basic objects in JavaScript. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, Love Coding, on our Facebook page, Love Coding, or you can visit our website on luvcoding.com. Today, we want to look at working with arrays in JavaScript. Arrays are similar to lists that we already know in some other programming languages. They are also a kind of a data structure, but high-level data structure, consisting of elements. Maybe sometimes the elements could be similar, or sometimes they could be not. They could be dissimilar. Each element is identified by an array index or a key. So arrays are very useful for grouping of elements and creating shorter programs. Without arrays, you realize you might end up writing a very long program or a longer length of code without using an array. But using an array, you can put all elements in one as a box and then refer to the box each time you need to access the element of the array. So let's look at the basic example I've already created and see how we can create arrays in JavaScript. So here I've already created a basic JavaScript code or program or project, which simply takes your name and outputs your occupation. Although there are so many things you can still do with this, but at least this is just like a basic introduction or like explanation as to what you can do with a JavaScript array. So let me run this and you see, then we can explain it. Save it, then we run. So enter your name and see your profession. So we'll enter our name. Let me enter this name. Your name is Ada. You are an accountant. Let's enter another name. Let's see. Your name is Edgar. You are an entertainer. We can take another one more example. Your name is Fella. You are a fisherman. So how does this work? If we're not using the array, remember you can right-click, go to inspect. In case you have an error, you can right-click and go to inspect and go to console to check what the error could be. But right now there is no error, so we can continue. Just want to show you how to check for errors. So how does it work? Basically, it takes just an array where it has all the possible jobs that could be related to your name. For instance, if you take accountant, it checks if your name begins with A, your profession is you are an accountant. Although one may say there are other things you can do with this, but this is just like a basic explanation of how it works. You could have many jobs that starts with A, and then the program needs to check which one suits your name. So there are so many other checks you can do. But basically, this is what an array is used for and how it is used. So you have the jobs, it's an array. Then the get name will get a text value here, my input. So use this text value to get your values. This text value is my input. So the item here that the user keyed in is your value, the text box dot value. So get name is this dot value. Remember, the value is the value the user has keyed in. Then what do you do next? You create a variable, call it start name to get the first letter. Get name dot char at 0. It's to get the first item in your string, and this string is a name. Remember, we're talking about strings. Then you convert it to uppercase because your jobs are all written in uppercase. Whereby you're not sure of the case, if it's high or uppercase or lowercase, and you're not sure, you can just convert both the incoming value and the existing value, the jobs, all to particular case, maybe lowercase or uppercase altogether, so that everything begins with the same kind of case. So you've gotten the first item, and then you got the first item, which is the item in index 0. You convert it to uppercase. Then this one, we don't need it now, all inputs. After removing the first one, what do you do with the rest? For instance, you put Abba as a name. You've just taken the R, the remaining bar. How do you get the remaining bar? So to get the remaining one, it's going to be the one you've taken, the A plus. Remember, we use plus sign to concatenate strings. You add two strings together using the plus sign. So the first one you have taken plus get name, all the values you've gotten, dot slice 1. Slice 1 means get everything from position 1 to the end. If I had included another value, maybe slice 1 to 2, it takes the value from position 1, index position 1, stops at 3. But because I said from 1, nothing else included, it's going to get from 1 to the end of the string. If you're talking about a string, it's going to get from position 1 and then add it up to the one you've gotten, the first character of your name that you've gotten already here. That is why you say start name with the first character of your name plus get name, the whole value starting from position 1. You add them together to get the full name. That is after I have gotten the first name and I have converted to uppercase. Then what do I do next? I need those values for the next thing I'm going to do. So the next thing you want to do, you create a function that takes all this value in my array. Here I've done that using the for each statement. There are so many ways you can go through. You can access your array or go through the element in an array. You can use the for each statement. You can use for variable I in your array. The variable I could be anything. For variable I in your array means for all the elements I, each element is I. For all the elements I in your area, in your array, do a certain thing. So you can use for each, and you can use for in. Like I said, you can use for each, you can use for in, you can use for variable B of array, but I don't know how of works with JavaScript. I would normally use the in or the for each and so many other kind of methods you can use. So here we're using for each to access all the elements in the array. What for each will do is that it takes every element in the array and do a particular thing to it, to all the elements. So this is what it's going to do to all the elements E. These are the elements. So all of them, it takes all of them one after the other and do this. E1 is to get the first character of all of them. Remember, it's going to do that for all the E, all the elements. So E1 is E that char at 0, means the first character of all of them. You convert to uppercase. This is the same thing we did with the user input. We take the first element of the user input and we convert it to, we got the first item and converted to uppercase. So both item you're going to compare are both in uppercase. So you converted the first character of the user input to uppercase and converted the first character of all the elements in the array to uppercase. Now you can compare. In comparing, we can use match, but now I just use the if statement to compare them. You can use if this E1 matches this value, that's if there's a particular value you're looking for. You say if E1 matches that value, don't consider case. That is why the I is there. Do not consider the cases, upper case or lower case. Don't consider that. So if E1 matches the value you're looking for, then do this line of code below. So here it says if E1 equals start name. What is start name? Start name is the name of the user, the first item of the name of the user. So you've gotten that already. Then now E1 is the first item of all the elements in the array. If that first element in the array matches the first name of the user, then do what? You write your name is all inputs. What is all input? The full name. Your name, that's why I told you, I just did that earlier so that I can use it later. Your name is the full name plus space and plus space. So your name is the full name. So you are jobs. This is a very important one here. You are a, this is how to get your jobs. Now, jobs is the name of the array. That's the name of the array, job, you can see. So I want to get job index, particular index. What particular index am I going to get? So look at how it's done. The index is all this together. Job.index of ei.e1.char at 0. That means e1 is all the elements in the array, each of them, the first item of each of them, index of the first item of each of them, plus e1 a.slice. This will give us the same value as the full name. The first item from all of them plus all of them starting from position 1. You add it together. So for accountant, you get the first item, which is A, then add the remaining accountants. Remaining, when you remove A, it's remaining countants. For here, when you remove the A to check if it matches, and now it matches, what to do next? You take the whole of this and then add it up to A, making accountant, and that's what you're going to display here. So job of this index, that's why it's put in square brackets, meaning you're looking for jobs of this index. Remember, to access the value of an index, you have to put the index you're looking for or the value you're looking for in a square bracket. So I'm looking for jobs index something. So all this will convert to the index. It could be index of the person's name. So it will be your name. The name is formed from taking the first item of all the elements in the array. But the only item we're going to take now is the item that matches the user inputs here. So take it and then add other parts of the elements in the array to form a single name. And then what is the index of that single name? So you're looking for jobs of that index. So that's how it works. Job of index 0, everything will amount to 0 because accountant is in index 0. So looking for job dot index of this is 0. So you're looking for jobs of index 0 altogether. You can remove these jobs and run it and see. You can remove this job and you can try whatever you want to try just to see how many minutes have we spent? 12 minutes, okay. So you can try whatever you want to try just to see how it works. So basically, this is how the array works. There are so many examples you can take, but this is just a simple example of array. The array elements or method of object has so many other elements. We have the pop. The pop removes the item from the end of an array. We have the shift. Shift removes an item from the front of an array. On shift adds an item to the front of the array. Index of, find the index of a given item. We have the splice, not slice now, splice with a P. With a P here, splice. Now, what does the splice method do? The splice method, what it does is to take from a particular position to another particular position. But what it does is that if I say splice 1, it means go and remove the value at index 1. Then if I say splice 1, splice actually does two things. It removes and it adds. So if I say splice 0, it means remove this, not for this statement, mind you. I'm just telling you what the splice, the SPL, what it actually does. So what it means, if I say splice 1, 0, it say go take out the element in position 1. Don't go to the position 1. If we see 0, don't add anything. Don't remove anything. If you see 0, don't remove anything. Then add something, maybe caterer. So we can do that some other place to add up to our array. Let's just remove this into X. So this is just slides for now, so don't get it confused. That's why I just wanted to slides. I wanted to talk about slides today so that I don't get confused about the slides. We can talk about the slides next time. I just want to show you how array works and how you can access the value of an array and how you can use an array to make a shorter program. Imagine you're not writing this program with an array. What do you think is possibly going to be the length or the style or the nature of the program? I hope you've enjoyed our tutorial. We're going to have another tutorial working with objects so that we'll see basically how we can work with objects and how we convert object to JSON. Thank you for joining us today. See you in our next tutorial.